What's happening, people? Tobin here with you. A lovely day down here in Miami. And thank you all for checking us out. And it's been an interesting thing. We're on this Toronto Armstead watch. So, I don't know. It could be breaking at any time. Maybe the Dolphins will get it. I don't know what to believe anymore. There's Twitter accounts running amok. People are sending me screenshots during the radio show. And I'm just like, I don't like to. This is my thing with when it comes to Twitter. Rumors, reports, rumblings. I don't like to dismiss anything, okay? I don't like to go and say, this guy only has such and such followers. I can't trust it. I like to try and give people the benefit of the doubt, but there are people that are just out there trolling. There's the ballsack sports of the world that are just trying to get a bunch of clicks. They're going to try and Adam Schnarfter you and get you to be tricked. And so I try to be a little bit more careful with it now just because I do know this is news that everybody is hoping that breaks. We think is going to break. It seems like it's going in the right direction. I don't know why the Dolphins wouldn't just back up the Brinks truck and get their tackle in the fold. It seems like the natural thing that you'd want to do. You got to get Tua. His version of Lyle Collins. Lyle Collins is out here talking about Joe Burrow. Oh, I'm his bodyguard. I got your bodyguard now. All that stuff. Same thing. You just want to make sure Tua's got something solidified here. And, that's what we're just kind of waiting on. And it's been like one of these things where I don't want to review the whole scope of Dolphins free agency up until we know where this is at. I feel like if they don't get Teron Armstead, I feel like it's like it does feel like a bit of a swing and a miss. It does feel like most of the moves they have made have been like, hey, we're going to use these guys a little bit more than maybe they're used to. Low risk, high reward types of guys. We're not spending a ton of money on anybody, but we think with a little bit more opportunity they could do this. I think with the Cedric Wilson signing, I think with the Edmonds signing, these types of guys, I feel like, they see something there. You trust McDaniel. Bringing in Mostert coming in, hopefully off the health is going to be a little bit better. I did hear some of the guys about this yesterday. I will tell you this Chase Edmonds. I like what he had to say about Mike McDaniel.
I'm more so, man, I was following McDaniel. I really believe that he's a guru. I was told he was a guru from players that I trust and that he was a really good player coach as well.
Dude, let me just tell you something. That's not only goosies. You're talking about a guru. I don't like that term being thrown around loosely, all right? They used to do that with Adam Gase. I thought it was ridiculous. This guy's he's a guru. Why? Because he held water for Peyton Manning for 3 years. Get the hell out! He made Jay Cutler not the worst thing in football. Yeah, what a pat on the ass he deserves for that. But Mike McDaniel, there really does seem to be an underground swell of support that this dude is true guru status, and that's goosies to me, dude. It's not only goosies, it's gurusies. All right. That's what it is. Goo-roosies when it comes to Mike McDaniel, the innovation, everything that he's going to bring to the table. And honestly, right now, that's kind of what the biggest faith has been in all of this free agency. Is that I wouldn't say the Dolphins have made their big splash. Armstead would certainly change that. Although even it's not like, the lineman is ever the sexiest thing that you got to get fixed. But it's very obviously the most critical need the Dolphins have to get done. No doubt about it. I just think that for me, you do hear that, and it's like, all right, well, whatever these moves, maybe it's not the big splash move, but you feel like with the faith that these guys got going together, that's going to be something special, that these guys are going to get together. He's going to find the ways and mechanisms to get these guys more open and get the most out of them. The other thing that's interesting about it, too, was it was great hearing Cedric Wilson talking about he's going to go out and throw with Tua. Dude, I mean, I want to see that. I want to see videos of that. It's cool seeing Tua do the work with Lynn Bowden. Don't get me wrong. Hopefully Lynn gets healthy and we do see big things from him. But you want to see what Tua is going to be like with the new kind of repertoire guys. You didn't get to see, remember all of the buzz that we had last year going into this with the receivers and especially with Will Fuller. It just never came to be. It just never came together. So you hope that once Wilson gets settled down here that they can do a little bit more together. Some of these videos coming out of Jalen Waddle are sick. So fast. I think he looks faster now that he's got the short hair too, as if it was even possible to be the fastest man on the planet, the quickest man on the planet, shifting all over the place. And now he looks even faster. Even in Waddle mode, baby. Waddle, baby, waddle, baby, waddle, baby, waddle. For the only thing that I thought was like a negative yesterday, honestly, that was interesting because I saw a lot of this on Twitter, and I had interviews to do, so I wasn't on the Zooms yesterday. I wasn't boots on the Zoom yesterday because I had other stuff to do for my fight shows and some fight interviews and things like that. So the only guys I heard a little bit was the new fullback, which all respect, but I mean I don't know how much I want to sit around for fullback talk. But there was like this whole thing that was put out with Teddy Bridgewater, and it was like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater declines to reveal what has been said to him about his role on this team. And, it makes it seem like almost like a Jacoby Brissett, like Jacoby Brissett, oh, I see myself as the starter, blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater is refusing to accept the fact that he's the backup. Like, that's what the tweets made it out to seem, just from, like, all these things. And I'm just like, really? And so I go back and I listen to it, and think to myself, all right, well, he sees a situation here where he's going to make a good amount of money for being the number 2 quarterback. Seems like it means very much a lot to him that he's going to be home, be with his family, be with his son. And then he used the term transparent, which I feel like when you're transparent, you're telling him like, yeah, dude, we're going to go with Tua, but hey, the guy has gotten banged up in the past. Like, we might need you. And they want a pro's pro to be in there and do it and feel like they don't miss too much of a beat, as much as you hope you don't miss a beat going to your backup quarterback. But then he's like, saying, well, have you been given did you come here with the knowledge that you're going to be Tua's backup, or would you be given a chance to start? And he was like, oh, I don't really want to talk about what I've talked about with the coaches. And then he's asked kind of that again. He goes, I'm going to leave those conversations to the coach. Like, and I think people ran with that in the direction of, oh, Teddy Bridgewater is basically like not relenting that he's the backup. I think he knows he's coming here as the backup. I think that the coaching staff has very clearly thought of this as he's going to be our veteran. And, if they do need to go to him for whatever reason, then if Tua is sticking up the joint that badly that he's losing his job to Teddy Bridgewater, there's a bigger issue than Teddy Bridgewater thinking that he's the guy or thinking that he was here nefariously to get a starting gig. That's going to speak more to where things are at with Tua Tagovailoa than they are Teddy Bridgewater trying to, reestablish his career. Was there any part of Teddy Bridgewater that probably looked at it and says, look, Tua's not on the most solid ground. Could I find myself maybe in an opportunity if things go bad there? Maybe he did. But I feel like the idea that you got to pry it out of him, like, that's only going to be a thing, right? Like, there's only so many quarterbacks around the league where that everything that basically is said about him, read about him, done about him, all that type of stuff, it's all going to turn into a thing, right? And I do think with Teddy Bridgewater, there's a little bit of a clamor factor because he's a local guy. So if Tua does struggle, will there be people down here who do want to see him play and get a shot at quarterback? Certainly. I do think that is a thing. But I think putting that out there now is silly if I were him. I wouldn't do that if it comes to it where he goes and he starts a game and he plays and he does okay, or he comes into a game and does okay, and then those things are asked. Yeah, I mean, I think that's an okay time. That is when Jacoby Brissett brought that stuff up, to be fair, after the Bills game and he was going to start the next game. That's when he said, I've always seen myself as a starter. But to say like, oh, what role were you in now? Like, what did they disclose to you? I just feel like that's asking for trouble or trying to stir it up. And especially where it's kind of just left in these like vague Twitter quotes where it's just like, oh, well, he won't say what the role is that they established for him. Oh, he's gunning for Tua. That's what that means. Nah, not seeing it. That's not like show pony behavior like Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think to his credit, I think he wants to be home. I think it means something to him. He's been bouncing around the league a lot. Remember, the Dolphins did try and when they ended up signing Ryan Fitzpatrick, the first guy they were going to go to was Teddy Bridgewater, but I think he knew that the writing was on the wall. This was going to be a short-term thing before they moved to a high draft pick QB. So now he's back. I don't think we got to make something out of nothing, and I felt like that was a lot of what yesterday was.